Straight up Tennessee family, what is up on this Wednesday? We told you before the year started, we would be doing straight up Tennessee Titan shows. And today it's Wednesday, and we were like, shoot, why not? Next Wednesday, you already know you're going to be getting a special show. From a Tennessee player, somebody that you might know, somebody that might have been on. But tonight, or today, I should say, it's all things Tennessee Titans. We're talking about the preseason. It is Wednesday. Saturday, 3 short days, the Titans play a preseason game. Are we satisfied with the roster? Are we kind of questioning some of the moves? We're going to talk on the defensive side of the ball. What should we be expecting? Are we excited about that? But most of all, the offensive weapons. Are we excited? Big news out of Nashville last week. We'll talk about that as well. But you already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee Titans on a Wednesday. And listen, don't make fun of me right now. I do not have my Tennessee Titans intro done, but y'all will get the point. It's straight up Tennessee, baby.
First play, second quarter, touchdown Tennessee. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
It's indeed volume 4, and it is a straight up Tennessee Titans episode. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Ruck in the building, joined by my boy E.J. Medina. E.J., what's up with you today, bro?
What's up, fam? I'm doing good, bro. It's almost Titan season, so it's a good day to be a Tennessee Titan.
It is, man. Today, man, like I said at the top of the show, we're going to talk all things defensive expectations, offensive expectations, but also we're going to dive into, are we satisfied with this roster? And then we're going to do our preseason total. What do we think the Tennessee Titans ending of the year, what do we think that our record would be? 17 games? Is that right? 17 games? I don't think this episode will pick them because I'm going to need a couple of weeks to really think about it. 18 games?
18 regular season games with a whole lot of double dipping with some opponents this season.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
I don't want to play Houston twice, but we have to. So, but anyways, man, let's just dive on in, bro. I'm excited for today. I think it's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, bro, from the top of the show. Let's just talk about, in general, the roster. Obviously, last week, massive news for the Titans. DeAndre Hopkins goes down, already has surgery. What does that do for Levis?
I mean, it puts him at a disadvantage for sure. But, not to go too deep, but, going in from free agency draft day to post-draft day into camp, he got a lot of offensive weapon at the wide receiver core. Dare I say, one of the top wide receiver trios. Bro, I was telling you this earlier on last week. It's like a Madden roster of the wide receiver trio that we have put together. Put together. It was crazy. So, it does put him at a disadvantage specifically for relying on, a veteran player like Hop, and the fact that he played with him last season, that towards the end of that season, you and I have always been talking last season, like the chemistry was clicking. And so to lose that for, what could be 6 weeks, is crazy. But fortunate for us in our schedule, we've got a bye on week 5. So like the worst case scenario, he only misses 5 games rather than 6, because that 6th game could really turn the trajectory of this ship for this season to down a path of destruction. So, but yeah, that's tough. What's your thoughts? Like I hate as soon as that ESPN updated on my phone at my desk in my office, I just like my heart sank. I
Yeah.
was like, man, that is tough.
Yeah. I think for me, I kind of lean on the side of, okay, I see now why we got Tyler Boyd. I see now why we got Calvin Ridley. You're hoping that Traylon Burks just has this breakout year. Everybody's raving about him once again. We know the athleticism.
I
We
feel like
just haven't seen it consistently.
I feel like that's the same comments though coming out of every camp.
I
I mean,
know,
I
especially with
might be
him.
wrong. I might be wrong. I'm just being real. Like it's a tough spot to be in with him. Like yeah, coming out of camp every season, we hear about how he has done great, and I really do hope it pans out for him this year. But I mean, he's gonna have to step up, for at least 6 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, think about this now, though. Obviously, that was last week of July into August.
yeah,
It, 6 weeks with technically 6 to 8 weeks, right? That's what they say.
yeah. Six.
Week two,
The first, I think the first thing I heard about it was 4 to 6 weeks, and then it shifted to 6 to 8 weeks.
right? So week two, you have the Jets in Nashville,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Then week
No. Yeah.
three, yeah. Then week
No.
three, you got the Packers in Nashville. Is there a
Mhm.
possibility he's back that early, or do you just wait, like you said, to the Monday night football game, potentially September 30th against the Dolphins?
Ooh. Just in all honesty, I I would love for him to come back in week 3 against Green Bay. But I think for him, I mean, bro, and you and I have played football our whole life. A leg injury is
We'll play
it's
with it.
it's tough. How many times did we get hurt and we just walked it off and just did more detrimental to ourselves and our health and the healing process.
Yep.
A whole different ball game when you play at the college level. It's a whole different ball game from that when you play at the NFL level. So yes, I would love as a fan to come week, at that week 3 spot for
That
Green Bay,
Packers game.
that Packers game, but to be honest, man, whatever he needs, I'm fine with, man. Because we got 3 weeks of preseason, 3 weeks of regular season, which week 6 is that Packers game.
Week
Week
three.
4 I'm sorry, week 3 is that Packers game, which would technically this would be the 6th week of his injury, and then 7th is Dolphins, and then that 8th week is a bye. And so
Right.
I don't know. Honestly, I want him healthy for the longevity. I think Ron's gonna do his thing and try to sign him to a long-term deal. So I don't want a declining D Hop for this season because he just never got right. So yes, I would love to see him. Yeah, to answer your question, yes, I want to see him at Green Bay.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't come back Green Bay, I would be okay with him missing out on the Dolphins game and
Right.
then take that week 8, which is a bye week at week 5, and then come back healthy against the Colts, which that's in our backyard. Like that game means more to me than the Miami game, to be honest.
I would agree. I mean, yes, it's Monday Night Football. The Titans have not fared well on Monday nights the last
No.
4 or 5 years.
Mm-mm.
Um,
We do better on
so
Thursday night than we do Monday night.
oh yeah, give me Thursday. Give me Thursday.
There's something about
Um,
it. On that short week, all of a sudden we were just like we play like we're kings. And so yeah, Monday night's never done well for us for a while
no,
since for the last couple of years. So
no. But you know, what are your expectations? We talk about the additions, right? With Ridley and Boyd, Tony
mhm.
Pollard. You can't forget about Tony Pollard. Um,
Mhm.
latest news: Jamal Adams. We signed Jamal Adams to a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
What do you like that Rand Carthen is bringing to the roster? But then also, what do you like about the energy, about the players, how excited they are? I don't know if you got to catch this, man. They interviewed Calvin Ridley after a practice when the Titans were fighting, And he was
Mhm.
basically saying, we just playing ball and we competing. He's like, have you like we got guys out here that are animals. Talking about Jeffrey Simmons. He said he is an animal.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we out here fighting. He's like, but we get in the locker room, we clear it up. And that's why he's like, you seen practice today? Was any fighting? No. We went to the locker room, we cleaned it up, and we figured it out like men. And now we out here getting better. Like, what are you thinking internally? Like, is are the Titans going to be better than we think they are?
Well, I mean, I think systematically, I look at previous years, coming in rookie camp, coming into camp, just normal camp with the rest of the team. I don't know, man. I feel like there is more camaraderie amongst the team, um, or has it like or has it always been there and we just haven't cared because we knew that the season the following after camp was just going to be detrimentally bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, um, man, I there's just something about it when you go toe to toe with your team one, offensive one, and defensive one, and you're out here trying to throw haymakers.
Yeah.
Play till the whistle blows, and listen, there is something about it to be said that I look at the great teams when we were growing up, like New England and Dallas when they were in prime time. Like, it's just the
Yep.
reality of where there it was. I mean, Irving was doing Irving things. Emmett Smith was doing Emmett Smith things. Like Rob Gronkowski was doing his thing. Tom Brady was doing his thing, and it was just chirping, like always talking. And I don't know. I just want for so long. It just feels like, man, like our team just didn't care. Like it
Yep.
was whatever. I got the paycheck, but I feel like this new era, like, is shown like, hey, like there's something to play here with. And so I don't read too much of into the preseason because reality is half those dudes that are out there scrapping not going to make the squad or not going to see the field. So like I know they're trying to get their own, but like I do like to see, like, Calvin Ridley was talking about the wide receiver room. Like, it's a great wide receiver room. I've only been here
Yep.
for such a short time, but like this is a great team. And I think Will Levis even said, we're going to surprise some people. People are just writing us off, and we're going to surprise some people. Now, internally, I don't know if that's going to happen that way, but I mean, listen, sometimes you gotta speak it into existence. And for me, I really am enjoying seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not think I'd be feeling this way going into the season when we ended the season. I told you that straight up. I was like, man, we're gonna have some bad years, bro. The
Yep, we
bad
did.
years.
And then you add Brian Callahan as a new head coach. Obviously, he's going to take a lot of the offensive duties too. I know he hired an
Mhm.
offensive coordinator because it's the thing to do, but
Yeah,
he's going to call the offense, wouldn't you say? Like
I would
Cincinnati's
assume.
offense,
I would assume.
Cincy's offense was electric, stretching the field. A lot of play action is coming to Nashville, and
Yeah.
that's what Joe Burrow did well. It was a lot of play action, a lot of moving out of the pocket, and kind of making the defense decide, hey, are you going to bite on this, or are you going to play sound, play your zone or your man and do that? And so I'm excited to see that. I'm not expecting 12 wins. I'm just not. But I
No.
am expecting 8 to 9. And that sounds crazy. And I know,
Are we getting?
but I
Are we getting into?
really
Are we getting into that now?
let's just get into it now before we talk about the defense and before we talk about obviously the what we like about the offense. Let's just talk. Let's go ahead and dive in, bro. Let's just go ahead and
I
get
mean,
there. I see 8 wins on the schedule.
what are your 8 wins?
I think we split with Indianapolis. Um, you don't believe this at all because we talked about this already, but I think the Titans beat Chicago week 1.
Golly, dude. Okay,
I
I'm gonna let you
do.
do your thing, yeah, and then
I
I'll,
do.
I'll speak to. I'll let you run, and then I'll speak to what my thought process is.
I think the Titans beat the Jets at home week 2.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go forward. I
All
think
right.
the Titans beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's 4 wins.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings are terrible now. I think Tennessee could beat the Vikings, except it depends on what the Vikings are doing in that moment. But I'm going to say the Vikings. I
Okay.
think the Titans beat the Commanders. I think the
Okay.
Titans,
You know, there's some dudes out there that are picking Commanders to win the division.
yeah, which is wild.
Okay, keep going.
Wild. I got the Titans. So that's 6 games. And then I have the Titans splitting with Jacksonville.
Okay.
And I think the Titans can beat the Chargers because they suck.
Okay.
And it's
So
it's
that
it's it's it's
that's
Harbaugh's first
your
year.
8. That's your 8.
That's my
Okay.
that's my 8 wins.
All right.
That's my 8 wins. And and after saying it, I'm a very large question mark on the Jets game, just because
Okay.
the Jets got to come to Nashville, but
Yeah.
also Rodgers is back.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't
Right.
know.
Oh man.
And you know
I
this more than anybody. 8 wins in our division can get you in the playoffs.
yeah,
Like
it
that's
surely
what's
can.
crazy.
It
That's what's
surely
crazy about
can. So, I don't see 8. I see maybe man, I see 5 or 6.
it. Yeah.
Just being honest. And I love to eat my words. You know me, like I'm a humble dude, and I will if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Um, but I just don't. Here's my thing, man. With D Hop out for 6, potentially 8 weeks, that's huge. And I would love to be the type of fan that would say that someone on our roster is gonna step up and I'm not talking about Calvin Ridley. I'm not talking about Boyd because those are our starting 2 now. D Hop is our starting 3 wide receiver core, our trio. There's nothing more that they can do to move the checkbox or move the flag down the field, if you will,
Yeah.
in wins for me because now offense and defenses had to defenses had to key in on 3 threats. Now it's down to 2, right? So that leaves Mason, that leaves Westbrook Akina, that leaves Traylon Burke. I mean, that leaves Chig, that Wiley. Someone out of those crew that I just named has to step up. And I
Yeah.
think everyone's expecting it for it to be Traylon Burke. And I just don't see it. And so for me, I think that that 5 is probably what's going to happen. There's potential for 6, maybe 7, but I really think that we're going to end the season with 5 wins because, and this is where I'm at. The first the first 7 games, or technically the first 8 games of our season, is brutal. Now, you've got them beating the
Yeah.
Bears in Chicago. I don't. I think that it's still a lot of newness to what's going on. Like, if you were to tell me it's the same coaching staff from last year, but an entire new team, then I'd be like, okay, then yeah, sure. We'll squeeze out more wins. But the fact that it's a new coach, new playbook, and a whole new team, like a whole new team,
Yeah.
um, that's hard, man. That's hard to come
Yeah.
out the gate against in a game that, in all intents and purposes, eyes are going to be on this game across the country. Why? Number one, it's a
The
whole
number
new
one
coaching
pick.
staff, with the Titans, a whole new team with the Titans, and the number one pick in the nation. Uh, Caleb Williams and the Bears, and their whole new offense. And I just think, and do not get me wrong. Do not mistake what I'm about to say. I do not think that Caleb Williams is going to be a better QB than Will Levis. I think that his team of offensive weapons are going to bail him out more than what will happen with the Titans. And I think ultimately it'll be a very close game, and I can say it be it by a touchdown or a field goal, but something's going to happen that's not going to go in our favor late in the game, and that's what's going to cost us week 1. And then, week 2, you got the Jets and good old Aaron. I mean, my guy, like he just does not miss. If he's got an Achilles in his leg, then he's going to be ripping that ball. And so
Yep.
I think he's got something to prove, to be honest. As crazy as that sounds, he didn't make it. Nearly anything. 2 snaps, I guess, in
For
that
like, what
game.
was it? 8 seconds?
8 seconds, and I think it was 2 snaps or 1 snap. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But it was a very short season for him. I think that's a loss. I go to Green Bay. I think that's a loss too. Miami, I think that's a loss. So we're 4 weeks in.
0-4.
0-4. And then you got your bye week. And then Colts. I mean, that's gonna be the first game that I think that we would potentially have a chance. But I just don't see it happening. So 0-5. And then you got the Bills. 0-6.
There's
Week
no
8.
way, bro. There's no way.
I'm just saying the first game that on the schedule, dude, is week 9 that you can confidently say that's a win. Because right now, I don't know if you heard your boy from Tennessee, everyone's talking about how much better he looks than Drake May.
We heard that all year.
Bro, we don't know what's going to happen there. I don't even think they even know who's the number 2.
Dude, we know that Joe Milton is first team practice all-star, bro.
Bro, it's not even a first team practice, bro. We have 2 QBs that we drafted, and right now it does not look good for Drake May. The number 2 pick, third pick in the draft is getting beaten by Joe Milton, which, bro, we talked about this. I don't like Drake May either. So, but dude, so Patriots week 9 is the only game in my book that you can just go ahead and check the win column. Now, obviously, there are some things that can happen, and Aaron Rodgers can rupture another Achilles, or Richardson bust up his other knee. There's so many things, but if you're talking about paper and you want to talk about your ESPN win probability, we are not in the win category of any of those games up until week 9. And I didn't even look at week 9 earlier on this week when we was researching for this game, because I know ESPN would be disrespectful and say somehow we was losing. But I'm just saying that gauntlet's hard. So I don't know, man. I just don't see it in that first 8 games. A lot of wins, maybe one. Maybe you can scrape out one, but you're not scraping out a bunch. You're not scraping out a bunch. Then you got the Chargers, man. I think they are abysmally bad, but Jim Harbaugh is who he is what got him to this state. Like, he makes great teams, horrible teams look great. Like, he just is a great-minded coach. I think Vikings. So I think that could be the either or. Vikings, they look bad, but like Justin Jefferson, once again, like that's a machine, Then you've got Houston, then you've got the Commanders. I think this schedule, bro. I think this schedule warrants maybe 5 wins, if maybe 6. You're stretching it for me for 7, but I don't see on this schedule more than 5 to 7 wins. I just don't. It's tough, man, and I don't want to be saying that, but I just don't see it. I just don't.
Bro, that leads us kind of perfectly to kind of wrap the show. Like, let's just talk about defense and offense right now. Obviously, let's talk about the defense first. The additions have been great, but I think some of the biggest news out of Nashville is that Arden Key has now been dropped for 6 games for using PEDs. Your left outside linebacker now is gone for 6 games. And does Cedric Wilson get a lot of clock now?
I mean, do you know if it's 6 weeks or 6 games?
6 games.
Yeah. I mean, he's not coming back till Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's regular season games, not preseason.
Yeah. So do you think
he's not coming back to Buffalo? Yeah, Cedric. I don't think there's what else is there? What other options do you got?
And it's Cedric Gray, right? Is it that his name?
Cedric. Gray.
Out of North Carolina. Gray.
And if I'm offensive coordinator, I'm keying in on the fact that your rookie I'm coming after you. I'm gonna make you make plays, and that's tough, dude.
It
That
is.
was a big loss. I
It
hit you
is.
up via text, said that's a big loss.
Yep. But the excitement out of camp is Jarvis Brownlee.
Mhm.
What do you think about Jarvis? What do you think about Jamal Adams, Awuzie, and then obviously the Pro Bowler L'Jarius Sneed? This
Mhm.
defensive back room is legit, but how do they make it all work together? You and I have had this conversation a lot because you are a big Elijah Molden fan. So talk to the people
Very.
real quick about what you think about the defense as a whole, but let's specifically for the next few seconds, few minutes. What give me your idea and your take on that defensive back room?
Well, I think the biggest question going into last offseason was we cannot stop the air raid attack. We just can't. And I think that we addressed that for sure. When you got a dude, which really you gave up nothing, really much of anything for L'Jarius Sneed. Like those picks weren't that craziest to give up for him, right? And then you look at the fact that you brought in a Wuze, which is very familiar with our new coaching staff, right?
Yep.
And then you obviously got Jamal Adams. If he can stay healthy and be a fraction of what he has been in the past, and there's still rumors that we're out here trying to bring in Justin Simmons. Like it's wild. Now, I think that this wide receiver, I mean this defensive back room is once again another like a cheat code, like a Madden style esque, team of defensive backs. I am a Elijah Molden fan. I think he's the
Yep.
future at our free safety position. I think you bring him under the wing of what's going to be a great at the safety position when Jamal Adams retires. But I still think he's got a lot of life left in him, and you get to have him sit behind. You get to have Elijah Molden sit behind him and just learn from the craft. I mean, I think that this safety room is great because in the past, and I even told you this, AJ, is that when when we could not get off the field, our defensive backs were gassed, so they were just throwing everyone in, including the water boy, just to try to give us our starters a rest. But you look at the depth of this defensive back room. I
Yep.
mean, man, that's crazy. Number one pick, Caleb Farley. What's going to happen with him? Is he going to get some opportunities to really chirp and show out that he's still not dead? Elijah Molden, which is I'm super high on, and then Brownlee. Yes, I heard a lot of the chatter about him that he's just making plays after plays. And so and then, Amani, obviously, and then Roger McCreary. Like, so they, I mean, it's not, I mean, this room
It's
is
deep.
deep. And that's what I love about what our back office has been doing is they have been intentional of not only finding starters, but also finding the right people to be off the bench to give breaks where we need breaks and still not lose steps in what we're doing. Right. So,
Right.
I mean, that's where I'm at, man. I really do like it. I just don't. But the one thing that's puzzling to me is um is the chatter about us still looking or in association with Justin out of Denver. That's kind of puzzling to me. I'm not certain as
Right.
to why that makes sense or not. Um, but I've heard it a lot. I don't know if you have, but I've heard it a lot that we're still associated with him. But I mean, what's your thoughts, man? I know I spoke a lot about it.
You covered. I mean, I don't know. It's deep. It's a deep room. New defensive coordinator. It's just there's a lot that goes into it, but I think that they're going to surprise some people, and I think
Mhm.
they're going to surprise people based off of pure talent on the defensive side and on the offensive side. I look forward now to offense. I look forward to watching the Titans play. It's not going to be a 24-26 dive with Derrick Henry. Oh, we're going to throw Derrick Henry a screen that he's going to drop. Like
Right.
it was just give Derek the ball, or it was play action and short curls, and like we're going to now stretch the field, and that makes me excited.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for the defense, but man, like wrapping the show with offense, the thing that excites me the most is the potential breakouts that we don't know of, right? You got Mason, you know what Nick Akina can do, you know what Chig can do, you know what Wiley can do, but the guy that I'm most excited about is Tajay. What
Really?
who is Tajay and what truly can now he bring in a 1-2 true role? We knew Derrick Henry was getting the touches, but
Mhm.
now with Pollard and Spears, it's like a 1-2. It might be drive for drive. It might be Tony Pollard broke a 20. Let's throw Spears in. Spears broke a 40. Bring Tony back. Like the way that they're going to be able to play off of each other because they're kind of the same back. I think Tony
Yeah.
Pollard's a little bit more of a receiving back than Spears might be, but I just think in the grand scheme of things, Will Levis now has weapons, and
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how his mechanics change, how his decision making now changes, because now you got a guy like Tyler Boyd who's 6'3", and if you're feeling froggy and you trust him enough, you don't have a problem going deep and just throwing it up and seeing what happens, right? You
Right.
got a guy like Calvin Ridley, who is a true route runner, a guy that if you get him in space and he gets open by a slither, he is going to make defenders pay. And then
Mhm.
obviously Chig. Chig is a wide receiver stuck in a tight end's body, right?
Yeah.
Chig is
Yeah.
going to make plays. But overall, it's that running back room, the Pollard and Spears thing. How can they make enough wiggle to make the passing game be easy for Levis and this new plethora of receivers? So that's why I'm excited, bro. I think Saturday is going to be fun. I don't think a lot of these cats are even going to play, but it's
No.
still going to be good to see them strap on the two-tone blue and
Yeah.
and go out there and have some fun.
I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, for you, the question is who is Tajay, and I think for me is more of a question of not who is Tajay, but but who is Will Levis.
Mm,
As Will Levis started his career last year, coming into games, when he came in an Atlanta game, right? Like
yeah,
he surprised a lot of people, man. Like he really did. But as time went on, it wasn't a hey, let's just randomly throw some plays out there. He fell victim to what we always have done in years past, with Derrick Henry and with our offensive scheme, right?
yep,
If you're tracking what I'm saying,
yep,
and so for me, I'm excited. I love the idea of Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears because they are very similar in characteristics. And now it's not like we brought in Derrick Henry off the bench, right? Or brought him back
right,
on the field where you're like, all right, everyone load the box. We all know what's happening. Like he's gonna run the ball. No matter who's on the field, Tajay or Pollard, I really do believe that like you're not gonna know what's gonna happen when that ball gets snapped. So for me, that's where I'm at. And I think unfortunately, it's the crux of it. This is gonna be a breakout year. It's gonna be a make or break year for Will Levis. I think
You
if
think
he
in
does,
year two?
then this is why though. This is why I say that because this is a brand new team and a brand new coaching staff. This coaching staff did not pick Will. And you know how that is. When you bring in someone new, you have this vision in mind, and if it ain't it, hit the road. Like I've seen that story play so much. And so obviously with this being his first year as coach, this really being Will Levis's first year, I'm just here's my thing. If we do go 4 wins next year, then that's it. That draft class is stocked with QBs that
Yep,
have a lot of great potential, and I do not see if we have a horrible season and Will can't do nothing with this Madden team that they've put around him, it's gonna be a wrap for him. It's gonna be they'll draft a quarterback in that top 5 spot. And unfortunately, as ugly as that is, this man never got a chance to really to
yep,
get his feet under him. So for me, I'm excited to see what Will does because I came in the 2 years ago when we drafted him. I was not a fan. not a fan at all.
None of us were. None of us
I
were
didn't.
excited about the pick. Everybody wanted Hendon Hooker.
Right. I mean, just side note, I am not a Vols fan, but the thought process of Hendon Hooker being QB1 in Tennessee,
It
that
made
I mean,
so much sense.
that was just the I mean, there's a story all this time, right? It was the perfect story to an end of a college career to be drafted by the Titans, your home state team, right? So, side note, I mean, that's not gonna happen. We're here where we are, but I mean, um, that's for me. I'm really excited to see what happens with Will because I was very shocked. You know, the win against Atlanta, the win against Jacksonville, man, to ruin Jacksonville's postseason.
It was amazing.
It was the icing of the on the cake. The win against Miami. I mean, it's just it. He looks good. I really do hope that this is the year where he just breaks him off some and goes crazy. But that's for
Yeah.
me. I'm really excited to see what that looks like for Will. And then JC Latham, the hoss of a man. I'm excited to see what that looks like. Not really what I was anticipating when it comes to our draft, but I mean everybody loves him. Man,
Yep.
I'm just hearing that he is a leader amongst that team and in that locker room, which is wild. You got some old heads on that team that've been around for a long time. But yet we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about how JC Latham out here talking leadership and just really, pushing that team, and so
Yeah.
man, I am excited. I'm excited to see, but more importantly, I really want to figure out if Will Levis is going to be our guy for the future. I don't know. I have no answers. But you know what? I'm gonna have a good look at him on game 1 because your boy's
Yeah.
gonna be in Chicago
Yes,
watching
sir.
him sling that pigskin. So y'all just stay close to the socials, man. We're gonna do a follow me through that game, and I'll be live at the game updating and just seeing what I see. And it's gonna be, bro. It's there. I can't remember a season where we have come into it this season. I can't remember a season that we've come into a season with so much expectation and so much hype about around who we are and what we could be. I think the last time we had that buzz was the year that we lost to Cincy.
Cincinnati. Yeah.
We could have gone to the Super Bowl. That was the last time that I feel like that we've had so much buzz going into that next season,
Yeah.
and just to be let down. That season was not it.
Mr. 3 picks.
Yeah, man.
But y'all,
yeah,
man, I mean,
I'm
listen, y'all,
excited.
this is gonna be something we continue. I love these straight up Tennessee Titans shows. Me and E boys, so it's just easy to talk about it. It's fun. I can't wait to see what happens on Saturday. But you already know, man. Stay tuned. We'll have Chop It Up Friday. All things Tennessee Vols football. We'll be dropping that me, Sale Turner. So get ready for that. Friday is going to be an awesome time. And then next week, the show with Dante Thornton Jr. drops, y'all. So y'all know what to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's get to 1K before the year starts, man. Come on. We're grinding. We're climbing. But it's going to be a fun time. EJ, my guy, you got anything left to say, man, before we wrap it up today on this Wednesday, man?
I mean, tighten up, baby.
Tighten up, baby. You already know what
Let's
it is,
get
man.
it.
It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see y'all on Friday for Chop It Up Friday. For my guy EJ, it's your boy Ruck in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We out.